a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Second down at 4.
They'll set up to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Cunningham.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone.
A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling.
So the drive will continue after the conversion on 4th. They'll work from the 20 on first down.
He finds his man, complete. That's Cunningham.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Defense.
So that a free 15 yards.
That's always a tough one as a defender because a lot of the penalties that you commit, pass interference, holding, when they happen, you actually know what you're doing. But a face mask penalty, a lot of times is inadvertent, but it still costs you the same amount of yardage.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll go again with Sanders. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders. 5-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles will strike first here in this wild card matchup. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run. The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25.
The Falcons offense set to go.
And one thing we haven't pointed out yet, probably should, you got a dome team on the road, January, cold weather. How tough is that, or is that something that really shouldn't come into play?
Well, it shouldn't come into play, but let's face it, if you've been a dome team all year in this controlled environment, you need to get yourself outside a little bit for practice during the week, and that's what most of these teams do, because just because they play in a dome doesn't mean they don't have bad weather outside to work in, so they can do that, get their guys acclimated, and then that way, it takes it all away when you get to game day in a foreign place.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, Falcon football. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Throwing his Lance on 3rd down.
And that is incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
Now Austin. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive.
Their dreams of an undefeated season shattered with the loss a week ago. Now look, whenever an undefeated team goes down, you always hear some say, well, they needed that. I don't know, Charles, is that a narrative that you buy into?
Well, I haven't met a coach yet that feels like they needed that loss. You know, that's not something that they're in favor of. But I do know this. People like us, our colleagues, all of us in the media, constantly hammering a team that's undefeated. Hey, do you think you can do it the whole season? Can you carry it the whole way? That does wear down a group, and sometimes that loss, get us off your back, you can move forward from there.
Open man here, Schwartz, complete. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Running right, here's Sanders. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is third down. They're going to look to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Cunningham. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great effort there. 31 yards.
And the Eagles go up by 2 touchdowns.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. They start on the ground with McCaffrey, and he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Now Lance.
He rifles one that's intercepted.
Sauce Gardner picks it off.
And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And it is now 21-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick-6. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
To throw, it's Lance. He'll get this underneath to McCaffrey.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
That's caught. It's McCaffrey again.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. It's a gain of 4 there and gives him a new set of downs.
Lance going to throw. Looking for Higgins, but it is intercepted. And the Eagles are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Well, we've seen a lot of mistakes here this first half, and another there on the interception.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it, we expect a miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores and still giving the ball away. If they want to get back into this one, they've got to take care of the ball because right now the way they're playing.
As Sanders has it poked free. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. and they had just picked it off to get the football. They fumbled.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this.
After reviewing the play, ruling on the field is confirmed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. Over the middle, that's caught by Schwartz. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
He finds Wilson.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. And quickly, they get to the line.
Smith brings it in, going across the middle.
Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
2nd and 2, first down marker at the 5-yard line.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. That's swung out wide to Sanders.
Touchdown, Eagles! Miles Sanders in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Eagles continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 28-0.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together.
And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
A final shot before half for Lance.
He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup. As well.
A look around the NFL, we'll have to wait for postgame because we are moving right through halftime and on to the third quarter.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout.
Holding, receiving team.
So already not the best of kick returns there, but that penalty, that adds insult to injury and backs him up even closer to the goal line.
Yeah, not ideal field position to begin a drive, is it? Because the extra pressure now goes on the offense. They've got to get some early yards and get away from the shadow of their own goalposts. What every offense wants to do in this situation, get 2 first downs to help out with field position at the least.
40 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
On second down and 4, Hurts. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards the pickup there.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
On first down, Hurts
Out to his left. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only first down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on second down.
He finds his man, complete. That's Cunningham. And he's tackled at the 38, but they doubled their yardage. The play started at the 19, and they gained 19.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material.
They'll go option to the short side, and the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. And he completes it to Wilson. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 23. A sizable 16-yard chunk there. The drive continues. They go back to the ground with Sanders. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Throwing is Hurts. That's caught. It's Cunningham. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. So we get set to start this 3rd quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. And that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
But partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible.
Lance throws the interception, his 3rd. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game. But that's something right there, still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Once again with Sanders. 46 yards on the ground for him so far. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game.
And the Eagles are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
Well, they're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. This offense so far on third down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6. Throwing now is Lance. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
Taken from just outside the 30. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts.
This is Smith with a grab. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a gain of 34.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And I actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the 3rd quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the 4th quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
Sanders again. And good work there defensively as they're able to keep him out of the end zone. The ball mere inches from the white line on 3rd and goal. Sanders looking for a lane, but none to be found for Sanders as they stop him short of the line to gain. Going for it with Sanders. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Miles Sanders punching it in from a yard away. And the Eagles continue to run up the score. They lead it big here in the 4th.
Extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
Atlanta now coming out on the field.
They are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far, and they are, to be frank, in desperation mode now as they begin with a 1st and 10. Lance looking to throw it.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense. And certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap 1.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25.
The Falcons ready to take over. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put their points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offense has put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
On 2nd and 10, Lance. And my goodness, another interception. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them, play it straight, do all the right things, but these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. So out come the Falcons now. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Lance going back to the air after the pick-6.
And now here's another interception. It's Devin White, the linebacker, and he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Extra point right down the middle, and this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25.
Atlanta prepped and ready for its next possession. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. Just what silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like, what feels good?
Oh, Lance has it knocked free. The ball is loose.
Holding offense.
So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Now Lance throwing on 2nd down.
And he's going to be brought down. Back in his own 6-yard line.
Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
Talk about two sides of the ball cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front 7, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy.
Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away.
We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
And here now come the Falcons.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that zero on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film section tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
And they were looking to set up the screen, but that's going to be incomplete. Almost wound up going the other way. Well covered defensively, and it'll bring up third down. Lance to throw on 3rd and 1.
And he comes back with one complete.
And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Throwing on first down is Lance.
And he floated one out there incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
On play action, Lance.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Play action, now it's Lance. And able to complete it to Moreau.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
Off of play action, here's Lance.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Lance looks to throw again. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9. And they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
Lance now to throw. Open man, it's complete to Higgins.
And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 18. They said beginning of the season they wanted to get past the wild card round. Well, they just got past the wild card round.
How about that, being able to put the big check marks up in the locker room?